Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda. All right, good evening, people. How are we? Let's get a bit organised here, righto. Got no Mel here, no check. So yeah, actually, update on Dad, guys. Yeah, Dad's gonna. You just pray for God's will. Dad's gonna leave us. I'm not gonna talk too much, but you know the system, guys. You know how they do it. So we got called up there this morning. But Dad's Dad's a trooper, mate. He's been fighting him off all day, I think, and he's still with us. Mel's up there with a couple of my kids now. Which, incidentally, guys, just say that I can't go up with my kids tonight and get photos with Dad, because I can't go in there without some supervision. It's just an absolute shit show. And anyway, yeah, God bless Dad, man. He's still here with us, and he's not well, guys. All right, and I don't expect him to be around too long. But this is where we are. This is the war, and these people will all have to. Well, I suppose we're going to have to answer for what they've done. The whole medical system, guys. Okay, as I said, we know what goes on. We know how they operate, and that's the way life is. Anyway, Dad's going to be in good hands when he gets up. With the good Lord, guys. So thank you for all your prayers and everything. It's been great. All right, now we got heaps going on, guys. All right, the Russia-Cuba games I think are funny. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, Congress are like no idea what's going on, and I think all of us have got some idea on what is going on. Okay, we're seeing more of this thing play out, guys. This setup of us working with other people to actually take down this filthy deep state that is responsible for the things that we talk about a lot on this show. Number one that we probably talk about a bit into the show would be we'll talk about the wind farms here in Wollongong, because we picked it again, guys. We won't go there yet. We'll go into it in the show. But we got, good old Dan Andrews has just had his Australian medal, like what a friggin' legend that guy is, eh? But he's resisting the Supreme Court order to hand over his mobile phone to do with the 2013 crash of the teenage kid. So now he's refusing to actually hand over, are these people like friggin', I tell you guys, I can't believe it. Now, one thing we've been, g'day to Craig and Belinda too. I got that down here. They stopped through today, and I've had hectic days, guys, but they've stopped in here. They're heading up the coast. They're heading to actually the Cali Hotel tomorrow to see Brad and the boys up there, and then they're continuing up the coast. But yeah, safe travels, guys, and thanks for dropping in. Sorry, it's crazy times. But start looking into your food sourcing, guys. All right. You know, if you're on TikTok, all right, you're seeing everything out there, guys, all right? And there's one particular person who's doing a real lot of different microbiology with microscopes, with dark field, and different other things, all right? And it is incredible what is in your Cheetos and your snacks and your crap, all right? There's so much out there, guys, all right? We really need to, and this works both ways, guys. Number one, we get fitter and healthier, right? And we get other people living off our, whatever we're bartering or cashing or whatever else, all right? But the farmers are out there and they want to sell, all right? I've spoken to farmers and that, all right? They want to get rid of their produce, all right, to you guys, all right? And this has a twofold effect, guys, because when we do this, we cut out that woolies and that. Now, I know there's not a lot of us, but I tell you what, if we all get going, because I tell you, these other people are poisoning themselves, guys. Like I said to you, when's woolies poison you? When their doors are open. That's it. Bottom line. Everything on their shelves, guys. Okay, so this is a really big thing that we need to get going on our own, right? We need to start taking back our own health by getting, to the farmers markets, getting to the farmers, all right, and getting your milk, okay, getting your veggies, getting your meat, all right, because nothing out there is any good for you, guys, right? Nothing at all. All right, so I got a couple other things. Let's have a look here. What have I got up here before we bring cazz in and we'll get into some stuff? All right. Oh yeah. So now they're looking at like the semen of 40 men and found the unthinkable, guys. And the unthinkable, they're saying now whether this is, I haven't checked into whether this is white paper or anything, but it's the semen of over 40 people. And what they've found is that there's just microplastics everywhere. Well, we've been told about this, all right, the microplastics that are involved in, within the chemtrails and the rest of the stuff that they're hitting us with, and they're getting pretty serious, guys. Now, again, here's something for us because we should be pissed off about this, right? Excuse my language, but we have $710,000, guys, right? Raylene Sharp, KC, I think I should say QC, is now going to be paid 710 grand, 200 grand more than the Prime Minister for being the Commonwealth Director of Public Prosecutions. Now, as far as we would say, these people need to be questioned because, our public prosecutions are not real good at the moment and we know it. And this lady's getting now $710,000, all right, for being part of that, all right. They're also now looking into your bottled water. We've already told you most bottled waters, guys, are, not good. All right. We've told you before, Puree is the only one that we've come across. But, yeah, as for the rest of them, you don't know what you're drinking. Come on in, Cazz. How was your weekend, mate?
Hi, good. Look, we've got heaps of lineup today. So, look, let's just get into it.
Yep.
First of all, I'm going to kick it off with your mate, Chris Bowen.
To Energy Minister Chris Bowen now.
Within that, people can fish. Can go about their recreational fishing as they wish. So that'll all be assessed as part of the licence application. I'm announcing also that licence applications will be open from Monday and will be open until August. When considering licence applications, obviously there'll be a lot of criteria about how much energy is produced and the companies involved. But one of the key criteria will be local benefit,
Have you had enough of them yet?
local jobs.
Yeah, bullshit. Okay, Chris Bowen. 8 months ago or so, Chris Bowen, don't take me for a fact, but and you're complicit on this, Mr. Paul Scully, Alison Burns Scully, the two Labor counterparts down here. I told you what they were going to do, guys. When we had the big thing down here on the point, we had thousands of people there. Everyone's cheering. We won. I went, watch, 6 to 8 months. They're going to put this in anyway. Guess what? Here they are, guys. They don't care. They're putting it in. Now, these are floating pontoons out here. This is going to go all the way from up the coast here at Helensburgh, right the way down the coast here, guys. All right, out of Cronulla, I had a certain person from the political sphere ring me this afternoon, actually. And, we were having a bit of a chat about it because, they're pretty panicked about it. They were just saying what's going on down there with the guru, rah, rah, rah. But guys, what's going on with it? We got to go to them again, right? Because as I said to you, this is what they do. They don't care. So now they're going to put it out for license. Right? No one's got, this has never been done, a full floating one here in Australia before. So it's a first of, but they're saying it's going to be local this, local that. Well, they'll bring some contractor in from overseas because why? Because this is all a big money laundering scam, guys. All right, once these things fall over, they're done with them. They're on the bottom of the ocean. Everything else falls down there, and it's gone. But guess who got all the money? Them and all their little crony mates. And this is what they do, guys. This is the biggest money laundering. This solar panel and wind farm is the biggest money laundering scheme ever to be exercised on the people of the world, and especially Australia. That's all it is, guys. What do you reckon, Cazz? You're going to say I'm wrong?
No, I agree. Basically what it is it's they're contracting it out. You got to find out who owns which companies that win the contracts, and of course, there's no. Those things are very expensive to maintain. Oh. So what happens? The big storm comes along and crushes them against the rocks, and no, they're all dead now. No more maintenance costs. Yet they got all the costs for it.
What about a floating? Just think about this, guys. You know how much concrete goes into one of these things, all right? I've told you about it. It's like thousands of cubes, all right, into the base, plus the steel reinforcement. So now these things fall over, all right, they fail, they give way, right? And that's in a structure built like that, you know what I mean? That would never, give way. It's the friggin' thing. The foundation doesn't give way. This thing gives way, right? But now they're going to float them and then tie them down to the seabed floor. And then when the whales come through, they go, oh, yeehaw, on their back through the... No, sorry, they don't. All right? It's not a friggin' playground. All right, but how many wires need to strap these things down? You know what I mean? Like, this is incredible, guys. I'm talking off the coast here. Some depths will hit in this discussion we had today, right? Some depths out there will hit like 3K. 3 kilometers. And you got to strap them down. And then we got these wild seas coming through. Guys, this is the biggest money laundering project you've ever seen. Chris Bowen, you are a maggot. I'm just, saying that because I have that opinion. Okay, you are an absolute maggot, bro. All right, your track record is absolutely pathetic. All right, and you should be sacked tomorrow. But anyway, he's down here at Blue Scope Steel, and that's what he's doing, guys, cocking on about how we're going to get this and we're going to get that. Well, the Illawarra don't want it. And people of the Illawarra and the wind farm, against the wind farms and that, guys, we best regroup again. Paul Scully and Alison Burns-Scully, they will be the two people who are backing this with Labor, and they'll be in the pockets of old Mr. Chris Bowen, all right? And, watch this space, guys. All right. They need to be stopped. This is crap. Absolute crap.
Look, Julian Gillespie, he's done a really good rant here, a really good interview. Let's have a look at it.
To the name, right? That's Helen Roth. I can't call her legitimately a judge anymore. That's an honorific title that you get when you get absolute respect because you've earned it. Well, she's lost it. Now, the decision came down on 1 March. I knew it was going to be a rubbish decision for her to say Dr. Julian Fidge isn't, like, to break it down in simple terms, for her to say that Dr. Julian Fidge isn't pissed off and angry, all right, not aggrieved, was like, I knew it was going to be a rubbish decision. I didn't want to go through the torturous act of reading it straight away and getting upset for, finding out how she bent over backwards, nearly broke her back trying to assist Pfizer Moderna. But a little bird came in my window and said, oh, you might look at her family history, seems to be really connected. So immediately for the following 2 days, I looked into her family history and hell, she's related to one of the biggest, it's called a big pharma dynasty. It is. We know the term big pharma, and we usually associate that with offshore companies, but Australia's had its own big pharma dynasties reaching back into the late 1800s, early 1900s, and she's related to them.
That's right.
Related to them. But we're talking about massive wealth. It's actually called, what's one of them? It's the
generational wealth.
Oh, something fortune. So we're talking massive money, and they're she's also got a degree in science, which happens to be a specialty in genetics.
That's right. That was her first degree, and then she did law.
Right.
She knows better.
So Helen Roth, prior to becoming a judge, she was workmates with Pfizer and Moderna in at least five massive cases here in this country.
Well, that's the sort of judge you need.
Probably hundreds of thousands of dollars in payments, but represented Pfizer as Pfizer's, Australian queen.
We're no different to the States,
when she took part in that welcoming ceremony, which they conduct for all new judges coming on board, it was spoken about in the various speeches, applauding her brilliant past. It's like, oh, you and Pfizer. She was known and is known right throughout the judiciary in this country as the Pfizer queen. That's the term I use it. But all the judges like, yes, she's Pfizer's girl in this country. And when one of the hottest briefs in this country's history, that is our GMO proceedings, come in the door, like we must assume that Chief Justice Deborah Mortimer of the Federal Court, the Chief Justice, must have been alerted when a hot brief, whenever a hot brief comes in, anything that's got Pfizer and Moderna written on it, you would bet your bottom dollar that the
Order of the Eastern Star. Yeah, go, Cazz, yeah.
So what he's talking about there is she had a case before her about the GMO within the Pfizer and Moderna, and she basically hobbled them and just basically ruled against them. And he's absolutely, and rightly so, that's Julian Fidge's case. And Julian Gillespie is absolutely ropeable, and he's calling for her to be investigated with regards to this, and so she should be. As far as I'm concerned, anyway.
Yeah, certainly she should. And this is what we got to call these people to account. You know what I mean? Like, this is our job, guys. All right. These people are just ruthless. Absolutely ruthless. All right. But yeah, Order of the Eastern Star summed up well there by Hebrew B. Very well summed up.
Now, he goes on to say that she'd represented Pfizer 5 times before becoming a judge.
Yeah, well, these are the type of people you need, aren't they? They've been paid off. They're one-sided. They're biased. You know what I mean? And they'll give the ruling that the elites want. This is all. I'm telling you, we're no different to the States over here, mate. They got people planted everywhere. It's insane.
It is insane. All right, look, here's one for you, Dave. This is basically, there's a mask study that's been published by the NIH, and it suggests the N95 COVID mask may expose wearers to dangerous level of toxic compounds linked to seizures and cancer.
Oh,
so, there you
should
go.
Send that off to Coaldale Hospital. I wonder if they've seen that one yet, Coaldale. I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know. So, look, here's the thing is that people are fighting back everywhere and they're just doing what they can. But what I'm finding amazing is the sentiment within Australia at the moment is very similar to this.
Hey, government, just letting you know, I got thousands in fines and you ain't getting shit. Not a cent. In fact, tell you what, we'll take it off what you owe me, and you can owe me like that off the millions that you fucking owe me, all right? Fuck you, you're not getting anything. I'm driving without a license. I'm not going to drive with a license ever again. I don't need one. No license. I'm busking without a license. I'm never paying tax again. You can kiss my free white ass.
We'll leave it there, but all of these videos are available fully on the website. But the sentiment is very similar everywhere, like at the moment, that I'm finding. And here's another one talking about councils.
Yeah,
this is a conditional acceptance letter to the council asking them to provide proof of their claim. This is not to be construed as legal advice, merely something of reference for you to begin questioning the authority and where a council gets its right to demand money from you. In Appendix A, it is a timeline of events that Britain have used to claim its authority of sovereignty over the land Australia, and it basically proves their fraud. Here it has 13 points that must be rebutted. If it does not, it remains truth in law. Obviously, if they do respond, they're going to say everything else but the truth. So be prepared when you send this to get pushback.
Well done.
Yeah. Look, anyone that's fighting at the moment, good on you. And here's a couple more that are fighting. This guy here, he outlines a terrible situation of a lady sleeping in a car with her children.
G'day everyone. I just want to say, I know things are fucking pretty shit right now and the cost of living and all of that stuff, and some of us are a bit more fortunate than others, and just be fucking kind to people if you can, you know. Like, there's a lady today and I was walking past her and she's sleeping in a car with these 3 kids, and I just thought, fuck me, you know. This is fun. It just makes you so angry knowing that this has just been done by design, our government, the COVID jabs, the mandates, and that's what happened to this lady. She lost a job. Yep. She lost a house because she wouldn't get the jab, you know. And she got 3 little boys. Husband's fucking left her. And I just had some money in my wallet, so I gave her some money, you know, and just that warmth in my heart that made me feel. But it's not about me, it's about helping others, and just everyone's got a story that they might not want really to, you know, people have got their egos and they don't want to swallow their pride, and this lady didn't want to take the money, but I kind of said to her, well, if you don't take it, I'll fucking bash you. No, I didn't say that, but no, I just said, just take it.
Good Aussie way.
I'd rather see you take it and get your kids something to eat and all that stuff. And, you know, that really made me feel good. And I wish I could do that all the time, but, you know, I wouldn't have any money if that happened. But the moral of the story, I think right now, there's a lot of truths that are going to come out soon, and I feel like we're very close to, you know, these jabs and people that have jabbed their kids, and, you know, Q post, whether the suicide weekend or suicide week, whatever the Q post says, whether that's in regards to that or I don't know, but yeah, I think we just need to be nice, try and be as kind as we can, and yeah, that's
good words.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's like, you know, like, guys, this is what our government's doing, man, and they're just bringing in immigrant after immigrant, giving them new cars, giving them houses, giving them, you know, loans. You know, they're getting all our businesses. You know, go down and see whether you can, you know, every shop, guys. All right, every little food shop and everything, all getting bought out. All right, and then guess what them people are doing? They're all using shit products. All right, shit oils, crap stuff. All right, so that you're going there and you're getting poisoned. You know, this is all by design, guys. You know, the whole thing is just absolutely against you. It's corrupt. All right, so it's up to us.
Look, there's people standing up everywhere. I love this. So this is outside the Masonic building, and somebody has put the national strike on the garbage bin.
Good on them. Masonic Hall. Good on them. Well done, guys. Whoever.
Look, they're meeting resistance everywhere, and that's from us. You know, like there may not be a lot of us, but there's enough of us at the moment, and they don't like the resistance. That's why they're going full throttle. And look, here's the thing: there's somebody's put this together, and look at this. This is the jabs versus the excess deaths, and now it's at 25%.
Wow.
Now, it comes up and it shows where the booster was introduced. What happened with this?
Wow.
Guys, that's our people.
Yep. Well done, True Blue. I think done that. Brilliant, man. You do some choice stuff, bro. Keep it up. Sorry I can't keep up with everything, but yeah, look, guys, this is what we're up against. When, you know, people are going to start waking up to it soon. All right, because it's coming out, people, you know.
Yeah, and they're going full throttle. Like, I mean, like they're just not. I don't know. It's like they've they don't care. Like you got to look at this. Like here's the cost of health after 1 months of Labor, and it doesn't matter if it's Labor or Liberal. We know that. Okay, you've got the cost of health up 9%, cost of food up 10%. I actually think it's up a lot more, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, so do I.
Cost of education 11%, cost of housing 12%, cost of public transport 13%, cost of electricity 18%, cost of gas 25%, cost of insurance 26%. There's been no increase in the wages.
What about fuel? Fuel goes up 50 cents over here, right? And it hangs up there for a week. And then all of a sudden you see a garage pop up and go back down to 179. You know what I mean? 175, like 50 cents cheaper. Next day, bang, it's up 50 cents. Are you kidding yourself? Really?
No, that's it. And that's not even to mention, like, if you actually have a look at crime, like the crime stats, like as in this case, you know, like that. So fears of Bayside bloodbath as horror home invasions rise. So police have told furious Bayside residents to secure their homes as machete-wielding teens on luxury heists terrorise the neighbourhood. When one victim saying it could have been a murder case. You know, her family could have been a murder case. Yes, we know. We have been warning of this, but it hasn't actually stopped the government.
All by design. The government's designed it.
That's why. And if they haven't designed it, then why the hell are all of their policies ensuring this?
Build around it.
Somebody
build around
that.
it. Yeah, just making sure it all fits.
Yeah, one person needs to tell me, argue succinctly why. Oh, it's just that they're idiots. Oh, they just make mistakes. No, it's not. We told you this was coming and now it's here. Hello. And look, they're still going ahead with this rubbish.
By the day, with new figures showing a spike in the flu as COVID levels remain high. And now there are concerns we could be seeing the start of a pneumonia epidemic. Paul Kadak has more.
Since last month, there's been a big rise in the number of people going to emergency for flu-like symptoms, with flu test confirmations surging 26% just in the past week, with close to 7,000 people testing positive. Almost half that total are in Western and southwestern Sydney. Now, there's also concern about COVID-19. In the last week, labs have confirmed more than 5,000 people are COVID positive. And once again, it's the west and southwest recording the most infections, with northern Sydney not far behind. And there are disturbing new figures tonight on pneumonia. These graphs show the number of cases over the past 5 years for babies, children and adults, and these are the pneumonia cases in just the last 6 months. Authorities say that indicates an epidemic, which usually happens every 3 to 5 years. Tonight they're urging people to practice good hygiene and stay home if you're unwell. Mark.
Paul.
Well, of course we're unwell. You're poisonous from every direction. You got, multiple electromagnetic radiation going on through all the airways constantly all day and all night. All right. You're probably targeting us more at night when we don't even know about it than what you are during the day. And yeah, you're probably right.
Look, it's like, I mean, like it seems like it's doom and gloom and all that sort of stuff, but like this is making people wake up. Now, look, here's this headline here. So this is by Migration Watch Australia, and Aussie homes now top target in world for Asian investors. And it's not just the homes; they're actually buying businesses as well. I've heard reports. That, well, I shouldn't really talk about it. They don't want me to mention it. But
how come we just went from near going on to 500 or 600 people on this screen here? I've got down to 303 like in 2 seconds. These guys are unreal.
Oh, on my thing, we've got one. We've got one person.
Maybe we're in the process of getting ripped down, guys.
Could be.
This is gold, isn't it?
Not again. Look, guys, we've told you that we're only here to basically reach out to the normies. So if we disappear off this platform, can you please just follow us over to our other platforms? Because we're basically barely tolerating Facebook, because it's basically barely tolerating us.
I can't believe that. Just halved them. Wow.
So, all right, but anyway, look, we've got, there's a lot of stuff that we're kind of, there's a lot of stuff that we're like we're seeing headway in, and you can see people are actually just putting up their own rants and things like that, like here.
Charge of mainstream media's content calendar for the doom and gloom events of the world, that something's going to come and kill us, really need to space out these things so it gives each one a chance to have a bit of impact. I was just in Coles and I saw the little girl with the click and collect boxes, and I was like, where are all the eggs? There's literally not one carton of eggs. And she was like, oh my God, didn't you know? The bird flu. Sweet baby Jesus. I don't watch the news, but I was listening to the radio over the last 2 weeks, and I heard about the fleur variant. And then I've also heard about the flu. It's like influenza and RSV and some other kind of flu had a baby and created a super flu that's going to wipe us all out. Just pick one and run with it, because we're not, I know you think we're dense, but we are not this dense.
Well, look, on that as well, you've got this is all being manufactured, guys, you know. Look at this. This is a private government report obtained this week in response to questions over the decision to kill over 500,000 chickens in Victoria. Australia shows that the people making the decision had no verifiable evidence of higher risk infectious outbreaks. The chicken farms that were claimed to be infected were so distant from any other possible bird source. So, look, they're attacking your food supply.
Yeah, and getting away with doing it and lying about why they're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just incredible, guys. We will stand soon. I know we will. We will.
That's it. All right. And so, Jeremy, on that, actually, this is a really interesting one, because Jeremy Clarkson, he's basically put an article together, and he said, well, you can have net zero or feed ourselves. You can't do both. And it's actually really good that, look, culture wars matter. And when somebody in the mainstream media comes out and actually puts articles together like that, it's really important, because it sort of jolts normies, and they go, oh, hang on a minute. No. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe we can't feed each other. So it starts them to actually question. So these things are actually really important.
Yeah, and Clarkson, he's got a farm. He bought a farm. Clarkson. Yeah, and he's just said, I've seen some stuff on it. Yeah, the government just screwing them, mate. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, look, I can't see anyone on here but me, and we've stopped. All the comments are stopped. So I don't know what's happened, guys, but they've smashed something somewhere. This is gold. Censorship 101. Beep, beep, beep. Guru, in case I'm telling truth again.
Yeah, no, well, just on that, let's have a look at this this attack on the food supply.
Set that stores like Whole Foods and Costco are selling fake fruits.
What is going on? We have watermelons their skin peeled like stickers.
It gets very tough and doesn't really break.
This is rubber.
Ari Osborne uploaded a video sharing her experience with the fake blueberries. She bought organic blueberries from Whole Foods, and when she threw the remaining blueberries in garbage disposal, she heard an odd sound. That's when she discovered the blueberry was rubber.
Something's stuck. So I go in the drain and there's a blueberry that's not breaking apart. I pick it up, and why is there a rubber blueberry in my toddler's snack? Stretchy. Everyone's like, oh, stretch it if it really is rubber.
While others shared buying this banana from Costco and called it fake. Other user bought this watermelon from Sam's Club. Some people think this is 3D printed food, similar to the 3D printed meat.
Well, I've been warning you. I've been trying to educate you, right? They're going to come, guys, all right? Everything's GMO now anyway. You need to be getting your food from farmers. You need to be getting it straight out of the ground, guys. Seriously. So apparently all the Facebook's gone down. No, one Facebook's live.
My Facebook's still going.
Yeah, well, what que sera, sera. What will be, will be. The future's not ours to see.
All right, we got. All right, where will I go? We got so much stuff here that we haven't covered, and look, let's go to the little professor. I want to recover this because we have covered it a little bit, but it's really important. So Francis, law professor Dr. Francis Boyle, who drafted the 1989 Biological Weapons and Anti-Terrorism Act, claimed the COVID-19 MR injections are weapons of mass destruction in new affidavit. This is incredibly important. Okay, so this was on the same day that the Ninth Circuit Court ruled that the injection was not a vaccine.
Not a vaccine.
It was not a vaccine, okay? So
it's a bioweapon.
That's right. Well, that's what he has said in his drafted statement there in his testimony, and it's incredibly important because these people need to be held to account, and I don't know how much longer the mainstream media will be able to keep covering this up. Look, on good news, let's go to Bacale. This is really good.
King is one of the major gangs.
And they are satanic. They started doing satanic rituals. I don't know exactly when that started, but it was well documented. In the case of El Salvador, we were literally the murder capital of the world. And we turned it into the safest country in the Western Hemisphere.
You did that in just a couple of years. How did you change it?
So we pray.
You've transformed the country in a good way, and you're literally the most popular elected leader in the world. Did you ever worry they would try and put you in jail?
Well, they did.
What advice would you give to another former democratically elected leader seeking office who is facing jail time?
Democracy works. Nobody can say it doesn't. But if you don't give maintenance to the system, it will fall.
In your inaugural, you said, in this term, the first point of my plan is seek God's wisdom.
Yes.
That is what you said.
Yeah, I said that, yeah.
Yep.
Why would that be the first point of an economic?
Why wouldn't it be?
Why wouldn't it be?
I've never heard any leader of any country say that.
Because they probably forgot to represent the people that elected them.
Wow.
Hey, so El Salvador, guys, changed by prayer. How did you change the country? Oh, we prayed. And like you just said, it's so cool. Well, we just prayed. I know it works, guys. I've given you examples on how it works. Yeah, go, Cazz.
Yeah, no, well, he prayed, but he also took action. He basically used the army to shut down all the drug cartels and to get rid of the MS-13s. And, so that, there was basically, there was a lot that went into that as well. Look, we are winning.
Yeah, but it's all when you ask for God's will, you get God's will and you get the supplies and the people that you need to get the job done because you're going for God's will. Not man's will. As the guy's words are friggin' perfect, man. It's exactly where we need to be, guys. All right. It's God's battle. We've got to be in his will. Same as my dad. It's in God's will. Whatever happens is in God's will. So I can't do anything about it. I can sit there and in my mind know exactly what's happening to my father, and how these criminal health organizations work and what they do. But I can't, there's nothing you can do.
Video of Facebook's blocked. Look, here we
Video
are.
of Facebook's blocked. Okay.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, it's still.
Don't surprise me.
Still showing on mine anyway. Look, here we are actually winning. This is an excellent article by Rebecca Barnett. She runs Dystopian Down Under. She does an excellent job, and she's got a concerning decline in childhood vaccination as Australian government seeks input on new immunisation strategy. Guys, that's because of you. That's because of what you guys have done. So well done.
Push back. We've got to. That's your kids. They're poisoning your kids. They're autism, guys. I told you, up 3,000% in 30 years. Right, we have 1 in 300, affected by autism. Now, most of them are affected by autism. All right, and what the problem is, as they do that, and then we poison them with food that we buy from these friggin' corporates, okay, and our kids are eating this crap. So they've already got the kicker, which was the needle the government wanted to give them, and then they're whacking the poison on top of them. Come on, we know what's going on, guys. All right, we know everything from Band-Aids, right? Look, I'm telling you, I haven't seen anyone do one, but I'll call another one out because every time I call one out, we end up with it on TikTok, Cazz, for some reason. You know what I'm calling out now? Disposable nappies. I bet you they have got forever chemicals in them. I'm calling them out right now. All right, we haven't been wrong yet. Everything we've called, we've ended up finding the evidence for. All right, so yeah, let's see what happens. It's funny how when we say stuff, sometimes people go and go, oh, look at that. Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right,
okay.
guys, look at this. We like a bit of strange news here. Now, this is inside a paper, but this has actually come from Harvard. So there's a Harvard study that says that aliens might be living among us disguised as humans or in a base inside the moon. Now, this is the stuff of conspiracy theories. So why is it that Harvard is now actually entertaining this possibility?
Well, I'd say if Harvard's entertaining it, it's probably a load of crap. That's what I'd say. But anyway, who wouldn't know?
Oh, yeah.
They're crooked as they come, mate. Harvard. You got a harder degree. Well, you're part of Skull and Bones, or you're part of, some sort of like indoctrination into the.
They have a facade though of being the elite, and they do like to have a facade of basically being the pinnacle of science. So it's really interesting that they would be doing that. All right, Dave, we're at almost at time, so you wrap up there, and I'm going to get our outro.
All right, well, yeah, guys, look, it's Monday night. All right, and what are we going to do this week to make a change? That's what I'm asking. What's your little plan for this week? Just to make a difference, guys. All right, as we're showing you, there's heaps of stuff out there. All these clips will be on the website. All right, they'll all get up there. All right, especially that one, guys. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts. Okay, and I tell you, there's some people in the background doing great stuff. All right, putting the acid on these fictional corporations, etc., that are making judgments on your life and my life and everybody else's life. Right, with no rhyme, reason, or friggin' authentication. Right, it's only going to stop when we want to stop it. All right, and I'll be careful of my toilet paper too. Yeah, if you're getting a sore ass, I'll be having a look at what sort of toilet paper I'm buying. There'll be forever chemicals in there too. But that sperm one, guys, that I was talking about before, you'll find that out there. That's just on the net. Just type it in. All right, and 40 guys, but all with microplastics. So it's up to you. We can give you all this information. What are you going to do with it, guys? We got to be getting it out to the normies. All right, stoptherot.org. All right, it's not that scary, the website. All right, it's just got truthful information on it. That's all. All right, but we got to use this stuff that we're trying to give you guys. All right, it's your job. Let's get it out there. All right, good night, guys. See you tomorrow night. And just pray for my dad that whatever the good Lord wants is what the good Lord will get. Okay.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
We've got Jonathan Pye taking us out.
Did you know this? But before the 2019 election, the Tories pledged to end rough sleeping in England by 2024. And I thought, wow, come on, let's do it. Let's do it. In 2022, Parliament voted to repeal the Vagrancy Act of 1824 with something a bit more, modern. And I thought, finally, a government that is finally going to seriously tackle this issue. Finally, we won't still be treating the homeless like they did in Victorian times. But when they pledged to stop homelessness, I didn't realise they were going to stop it by banging them all up in prison. They want to replace the Napoleonic-era Vagrancy Act with a law that is more Dickensian than, well, Dickens could have imagined. A law that not only criminalises rough sleepers and raises the prospect of them being sent to prison, but now rough sleepers could be given a fine of up to $2.5 grand if they smell bad. I mean, you gotta laugh, right? You gotta laugh, or you'll throw a fucking brick. The first time in British history you can get a criminal conviction for not washing, which is something the Health Secretary denied on national television yesterday. And in denying it, she lied to your fucking face, because it's in the fucking bill. These people smell because they haven't washed. They haven't washed because they don't have access to fresh water, a bit like in the third world. Yeah, more homeless people die of dehydration in the summer than of cold exposure in the winter. Easy access to clean water is a basic global human right, and yet this government is seriously thinking about criminalising not having access to a shower. And that might not end up in the final bill, but who came up with that in the first place? Tackle homelessness by fining them $2.5 grand because they honk of piss and it's getting right up my middle-class nostrils. Where are they going to find the money? For a start, there's only so many big issues you can sell, right? Everyone hates homelessness. Everyone, but the Tories, they've gone one step further. They hate the homeless. They are no better than common criminals. Rough sleepers are not a social care issue. They are, as written in this law, a nuisance. This government thinks they should be punished. People who are cold and thirsty and, yes, a bit smelly, who are statistically probably an addict with a very good chance they have serious mental health issues, they should be punished. How is this a solution to the problem? And more to the point, why is this such a problem? Social care in this country has been stripped to the bone. Local homelessness services have been cut by £1 billion a year and have lost 9,000 beds since 2010. As a consequence, rough sleeping has increased 165% since 2010. The number of people dying whilst homeless has increased by 51%. Yet this government's attitude is, we're not to blame, they are. It's their lifestyle choice. It's not our fault, it's their fault. No! There is always a reason they are there. They all have a story to tell. They haven't failed, they have been failed by their parents, by their education, their local authority, or more than likely in this instance, they've been failed by this government. Rough sleeping is not a lifestyle choice for those sleeping rough. It is a choice of this government. It's been a choice ever since David Cameron declared that we were all in it together before implementing a brutal and sustained assault on the poorest, most vulnerable people in his so-called big society. And whilst we have obscene levels of destitution and hardship in this country with record numbers sleeping rough on the streets, a near billionaire resides in number 10. Nasty, evil fuckers. Well, it's always a difficult tightrope for any government.